you've tried letting go of stress, of expectations, of pain. But letting go still feels like holding on, just with quieter words. You keep whispering, "I'm okay." But deep inside, the knot remains. They told you to breathe, to relax, to move on. But no one ever told you what to do with the ache that lingers beneath all that silence. The teachings of Zen don't ask you to escape your suffering. They ask you to sit beside it, to watch it until you see the pain isn't the problem. The clinging is, and behind the clinging is a door that only opens when you stop trying to force it. If any of this feels like it was written for you, that's because it was. Leave a word in the comments, a moment, a memory, something you've tried to let go of but couldn't. You don't have to carry it alone. Someone else reading might be carrying it too. Tonight, we begin a different kind of journey, not toward more control, but toward surrender, not toward perfect balance, but toward gentle release. In this meditation, we will not chase away thoughts. We will simply stop following them. You'll be guided into a space beneath the noise, beneath the effort, beneath the balancing act your mind keeps performing. It begins with a story, a symbolic teaching, one that doesn't demand you understand, only that you feel. Let the words move through you, not to be remembered, but to be remembered by your deeper self. Close your eyes now. Let the noise soften and allow your awareness to begin descending from the rope into the canyon of stillness below. This is the tightrope between thoughts, and it begins the moment you stop balancing and simply allow yourself to fall into peace. The tightrope between thoughts. Have you ever watched your mind teeter between moments, as if balancing on a thread too fine to see? Perhaps you feel it now, a subtle tension in the quiet of the room. It's a feeling that has no name, but you know it intimately. It's the ache of a mind that cannot rest, the deep and quiet pain of being always on, always processing, always a step ahead or a step behind the life that is happening right here. This is a journey for you, a space to fall asleep, but more than that, a space to come home to yourself. These are Buddhist lessons, not as rigid rules, but as soft whispers, Zen stories for deep sleep that can help you find the ground again. If you are struggling with insomnia, if you ask the darkness, how do you make yourself fall asleep? Know that the answer isn't in forcing, but in letting go. Close your eyes and allow the world to fade. Let this be a time for healing from within, a gentle release. Imagine, if you will, a lone tightrope. It stretches across an early morning fog, suspended between two great cliffs. One cliff is the past, a landscape of memories, regrets, and moments you replay in an endless loop. The other cliff is the future, a horizon of worries, plans, and what-ifs that shimmer with both hope and fear. And there, in the middle, is your awareness, trying to find its footing on that Each thought that arises is a gust of wind, a thought of yesterday's conversation, and the tightrope sways to the left. A worry about tomorrow's obligations, and it lurches to the right. You feel the constant, exhausting effort of it all. The mental relaxation you crave feels a million miles away. You believe the goal is to cross to one side or the other, to solve the past or secure the future. But the real wisdom, the secret to inner peace, is not in reaching the end of the rope. It is in finding the stillness in the center. The core teaching here is a cornerstone of Buddhist psychology and Buddhist mindfulness. Mindfulness of thoughts as clouds. They arise and pass. They are not solid ground. They are not you. You are the sky through which they drift. For so long, you have mistaken yourself for the weather. You have felt the storm of anxiety and believed, I am the storm. You have felt the gray chill of sadness and thought, I am the grayness. But you are not. You are the vast, silent, and unbroken space that holds all of it. This is the beginning of letting go. Think of the mind's activity, especially when you are trying to fall asleep. It can feel like a crowded marketplace at dusk, with every vendor shouting for your attention. This is the brain's default mode network, a web of brain regions that becomes active when we are not focused on a specific task. It is the storyteller, the planner, the warrior. It's not your enemy. It's just doing its job, trying to make sense of the world based on past experiences and future projections. But when this network is overactive, as it often is in our culture of chronic stress and information overload, it creates the very tightrope you feel you're balancing on. It creates the noise that keeps deep sleep at bay. The modern world tells you to be a better balancer, to get a better grip, to focus harder, to control the wind. But Zen Buddhism offers a different path, a more compassionate one. It invites you to simply look down, not with fear, but with gentle curiosity. What is beneath the tightrope? It is not an empty void. It is a profound, unshakable stillness. It is the present moment. It is the feeling of the sheets against your skin, the gentle rhythm of your own breathing, the silent, witnessing presence that has been with you your entire life, the part of you that watches the thinker think. This is your anchor. This is the true ground. Let's try a simple practice, a way to feel this ground right now. There is nothing to fix, nothing to chase. Just be here. Bring your attention to your breath, but not in a forceful way. Just notice it. Notice the air entering your nostrils, cool and fresh. Notice it filling your lungs, a gentle expansion. And notice the exhale, the release, the letting go. The world slows down for you now. each time a thought comes, and it will see it not as an interruption, but as a cloud passing in the sky of your awareness. You don't have to climb onto the cloud. You don't have to analyze its shape or curse it for blocking the sun. You simply notice it. Ah, a thought about work. And you gently, kindly guide your attention back to the breath. Ah, a memory. And you return to the feeling of the exhale. This is not a battle. This is a dance of gentle return. Each time you come back to the breath, you are stepping off the tightrope and standing on the firm ground of the now. You are practicing the art of non-action, a key to Buddhism for beginners and advanced practitioners alike. This is one of the most powerful insomnia tips you will ever receive. Stop fighting the wakefulness. Stop wrestling with your thoughts. Instead, offer them a vast, silent space in which to dissolve. The teaching is this: thoughts come and go like clouds across the sky. We suffer when we forget they are just passing shadows, not who we are. We get tangled in them, believing their stories, feeling their weight as if it were our own. But the suffering is not the thought itself. The suffering is the clinging, the resistance, the belief that you should be able to stop them. Can you stop the clouds from crossing the sky? Can you command the wind to be still? The attempt is what creates the strain, the tension on the tightrope. Letting them be is what reveals the sky's eternal, peaceful nature. Your mind's nature is the same. It is inherently calm, spacious, and clear. You don't have to create this peace. You only have to stop disturbing it. You only have to allow the clouds to pass. Let this be a moment of emotional release. Give yourself permission to lay down the burden of managing your mind. For these next few moments, let the thoughts be as they are. Let the feelings be as they are. No judgment, no fixing, just a vast, compassionate awareness holding it all. Everything is okay. You are learning to trust the silence, the space between the thoughts. That is where your true self resides. That is where deep, restful sleep is born. Not from an exhausted mind that has finally given up the fight, but from a peaceful mind that has realized there was never a war to begin with. The mental relaxation you seek is not an achievement. It is a return to the stillness that is already here. And yet, beneath even the avalanche of thinking, there lives a quiet sparrow. You'll meet it in the sparrow beneath the avalanche. This little sparrow is a symbol of the unshakable core of your being, the part of you that is never touched by the chaos of the mind or the world. It is the deep, quiet equanimity that rests underneath the snow of everyday worries. Knowing it is there, even before we meet it, can bring a sense of profound relief. You are not as fragile as your thoughts would have you believe. You are not the tightrope walker trembling in the wind. You are the quiet, stable ground below. When we stop chasing each thought, when we stop wrestling with the past and the future, we feel the ground beneath the rope, still, stable now. Feel that ground now. Feel the weight of your body supported completely. Feel the gentle pull of gravity, a reassuring embrace holding you to the earth. You don't have to hold yourself up. You can let go. You can be held. Let each breath be a step off that tightrope. Inhale and feel the quiet presence of your body. Exhale and release the tension of the balancing act. Let the fog of thought begin to thin, revealing not the cliffs of past and future, but the gentle, welcoming landscape of this very moment. In this moment, there are no problems to be solved. There are no deadlines to be met. There is only the soft rhythm of your breathing, a lullaby from your own body. The path to deep sleep is not a tightrope. It is a gentle, downward slope into stillness, a spiral into peace. You are already on your way. You are doing it perfectly, just by being here, just by listening, just by breathing. Let this soothing spiritual story be the beginning of your rest. Let it be a reminder that your natural state is peace. Your mind, at its core, is a peaceful mind. Allow the echoes of the day to fade. The conversations, the images, the lingering emotions. See them as distant clouds moving away from you, dissolving into the vast, clear sky of your awareness. You are the sky, vast, open, free. And as you drift, as you begin to let go even of the effort of letting go, a new understanding dawns, as gentle as the morning light. In the light of the lantern, we forget that it too was once darkness. This thought carries you forward, not into more thinking, but into a deeper quiet, a place where opposites meet and dissolve, a place where the struggle between light and shadow can finally come to rest. You are drifting now, safely, gently, into the heart of that quiet. The lantern that forgot the dark. If you are always chasing the light, what happens to the darkness behind you? Think about this for a moment. In our lives, we are so often taught to seek the light, to be positive, to look on the bright side. We chase happiness, success, enlightenment, as if they are destinations we can arrive at, leaving all the shadows behind. But in doing so, we create a constant, exhausting forward momentum, a kind of spiritual running. And the faster we run towards the light, the longer and darker the shadow we cast behind us grows. This is the source of so much hidden anxiety, the feeling that we are not whole, that there is a part of ourselves we must deny or overcome. Tonight, we explore a different way. We explore the wisdom of the lantern. Imagine a weathered lantern made of old, dark wood and thin rice paper panels. It sits in the center of a deep, silent cave. Someone has lit the candle inside, and its flame flickers, casting a warm, golden circle of light on the damp stone walls. It illuminates the glittering minerals, the ancient formations, the subtle textures of the cave. The lantern, in its giving of light, seems to be the hero of the story. But notice something profound. The lantern, in the very act of creating light, cannot see its own flame. It is surrounded by the glow it produces, but its core, the source of it all, remains a mystery to itself. Furthermore, it is only because of the profound, pre-existing darkness of the cave that the lantern's light has any meaning at all. Without the darkness, its light would be invisible, lost in a sea of brightness. The light does not defeat the dark, it coexists with it. They arise together, define each other, dance with each other. This is the illusion of duality, the core principle of this lesson. Light and dark arise together. In the heart of Zen, and in the deepest truths of Buddhist teachings, there is no ultimate separation between things we label good and bad, light and dark, sacred and profane. They are two sides of the same single reality. Enlightenment is not the banishment of darkness. It is the realization that you are vast enough to hold both the light and the dark with equal tenderness. Peace is not the absence of problems. It is the absence of resistance to what is. Let's bring this into your own life. Think of the parts of yourself you have labeled dark. Your fear, your sadness, your anger, your jealousy, your moments of doubt or confusion. For years, perhaps, you have been trying to fix them, to heal them, to meditate them away, to replace them with light, with joy, confidence, and peace. You have treated them like enemies within your own skin, intruders in the temple of your being. This is a lonely and exhausting war to wage against yourself. It is the very struggle that keeps you awake at night, the inner conflict that fuels insomnia and anxiety. You believe that if you could just get rid of these parts, you would finally be able to rest, to find that elusive inner peace. But what if these dark parts are not enemies? What if they are simply messengers? What if your anxiety is a messenger of a deep, unmet need for safety? What if your sadness is a messenger of a love you hold for something you have lost? What if your anger is a messenger of a boundary that has been crossed? A cry for justice from a part of you that feels powerless. The lantern does not judge the darkness of the cave. It simply illuminates what is there. This is the practice of Buddhist mindfulness, to turn the lantern of your awareness inward, not to burn away the darkness, but to see it with clarity and compassion for the first time. To see the fear not as my fear, but simply as fear is here. To feel the sadness not as I am sad, but a sadness is moving through. When you do this, you stop identifying with the emotion. You stop being the storm, and you become the sky once more. You become the cave itself, vast, silent, and strong enough to hold both the lantern's light and the deep, ancient darkness. This is a profound form of emotional healing. It is not about feeling better. It is about getting better at feeling. It's about expanding your capacity to be with your own human experience in all its messy, beautiful complexity. When you stop fighting the darkness, it loses its power over you. It is the resistance that gives it its monstrous shape. When you meet it with quiet acceptance, it often reveals its true face, that of a frightened child, a tired warrior, a lonely part of you that just wants to be seen and held. Let's try a small visualization, a way to practice this deep acceptance. Imagine that lantern flame is your own awareness, your conscious presence. And imagine that the cave is your inner world. Now, instead of trying to push the light into every corner, just let it be. Let it shine where it shines. And then gently, lovingly, turn your attention to the edges, to the shadows. Don't force the light there. Instead, invite the shadows to come into the light. Imagine a figure of your anxiety or your grief stepping out of the darkness. It may look scary at first, but don't run, don't fight. Just let it stand there in the warm glow of your awareness. And perhaps you can offer it a single, silent word: welcome. You are welcome here. You are a part of me. I will not abandon you. This is the essence of self-compassion, a central pillar of Buddhist psychology. It is a radical act of self-acceptance. It is the end of the inner war. And in the silence that follows the end of a war, deep, restorative rest can finally arrive. You are not trying to fall asleep. You are creating the inner conditions for sleep to arise naturally. You are building a sanctuary of peace within yourself. In the heart of Zen, light and dark are not separate. There is no enlightenment without embracing shadow. Peace comes when we hold both with tenderness. The teaching is not to become a being of pure light. The teaching is to become spacious enough to hold everything. The goal is not a perfect, pristine life, but a whole one. Think of the moon. It is most beautiful when it is a sliver, a crescent embraced by the vast, dark sky. The full moon is beautiful too, but its brilliance is defined by the night it hangs in. Think of the ancient art of kintsugi, where broken pottery is repaired with gold. The cracks are not hidden, they are highlighted, celebrated as part of the object's history, making it more beautiful and precious than it was before it was broken. Your dark parts, your wounds, your struggles, these are your golden seams. are the marks of a life lived, of a heart that has dared to love and risk and feel. To deny them is to deny your own beauty, your own history, your own strength. There's a place by the river where breathing bends the world. Come with me to breathing where the river turns. This image calls to you now, a promise of a different kind of flow. The struggle of the lantern and the cave, the tension between light and dark, begins to dissolve in this new landscape. The river doesn't fight its banks. It doesn't struggle against its own current. It simply flows. This is where we are heading next, not to a place of seeing, but to a place of being, a place where the simple, natural rhythm of the breath becomes the ultimate teacher, a gateway to the now, where such dualities cease to matter. But for now, rest in this cave of wholeness. Feel the warmth of the lantern's light on your skin. Feel the cool, silent strength of the darkness at your back. You are safe here. You are whole. You are not the lantern struggling to illuminate. You are not the darkness waiting to be conquered. You are the witnessing of both. You are the silent, loving awareness that holds the light and the dark in a single, peaceful embrace. As you drift deeper, let go of the need to be good or positive. Let go of the pressure to be happy. Simply be. Be with whatever is here. If there is peace, be with peace. If there is restlessness, be with restlessness, holding it with the same gentle, non-judgmental awareness. This is the path to true freedom. This is how you let go. Your breath is the anchor in this spaciousness. Each inhale, a gentle gathering of awareness. Each exhale, a release of the struggle. Breathe in, I am here. Breathe out, I am whole. Let this be your mantra, your lullaby. Let the story of the lantern and the cave become your dream. A dream where nothing is rejected, nothing is exiled, and all parts of you are finally welcome home. And in this deep homecoming, you feel a shift. The need to understand, to label, to separate. It all begins to fade. The concepts of light and dark become just words, and beneath the words is a silent, unified reality. You are not two things at war. You are one thing being. And in that simple, profound being, you find the rest you have been seeking. The river does not ask why it curves. It simply flows where presence calls. And you are flowing now, effortlessly, into the deep, calm waters of sleep. Breathing where the river turns. Do you remember the last time you took a breath without needing to be somewhere else? A breath not taken in a rush on the way to a meeting, or a shallow breath held in suspense while reading an email, or a tight breath drawn in a moment of anxiety. Just a single, simple breath, taken for no other reason than to be alive in this one solitary moment. It's a forgotten art, isn't it? In our world of constant striving, even our breathing has become a means to an end. We use it to calm down so we can be more productive, to focus so we can perform better. But we have forgotten the breath itself, in its pure, unadorned mystery. Let this be a return, a homecoming to the breath. Imagine yourself standing on a riverbank at twilight. The sun has just dipped below the horizon, and the sky is a soft, bruised purple, streaked with ribbons of apricot and rose. The air is cool and still. The only sound is the gentle, ceaseless murmur of the river as it flows past you. You watch as it makes a wide, graceful turn around a cluster of smooth, gray stones. The water shimmers with the last of the day's golden light, and you notice something magical. Each time the evening breeze sighs through the weeping willows on the bank, the surface of the water ripples, as if the river itself were exhaling. This is where we will rest tonight, here where the river turns. This place is a metaphor for the present moment, the only place where life ever truly happens. The river's flow is like time. The water upstream is the past, already gone, its journey complete. The water downstream is the future, not yet here, its path unknown. But right here, where the river turns, where you are standing, is the now. It is the only point you can ever truly experience. And the gateway to this now, the anchor that holds you here, is your breath. The core principle of this meditation is this: returning to the breath as a gateway to the now. The breath is always here, and it is always in the present. You cannot take a breath that is in the past. You cannot take a breath that is in the future. You can only take this breath right now. This and this. When we return to the breath, we return to life. We step out of the noisy, chaotic narratives of our mind, the stories of what went wrong, and the fears of what might go wrong, and we land softly in the simple, undeniable reality of our own aliveness. This is not just a poetic idea. It has a deep basis in our physiology. When you consciously slow down your breathing, especially the exhale, you are activating your vagus nerve. This is the main nerve of your parasympathetic nervous system, the body's rest and digest system. It acts as a brake on your body's fight or flight response. A slow, gentle exhale sends a signal directly to your brainstem that says, you are safe. You can relax. You can let go. This is how you can consciously guide your body out of a state of anxiety and into a state of calm. This is the science behind the sacred. It's the practical magic that Buddhist monks have known for millennia. This is how to fall asleep fast, not by force, but by invitation, by creating a state of profound safety in your own nervous system. Let's practice together here on this riverbank. There's no need to change your breath or control it. Just become aware of it as if you are meeting an old friend. Place a hand gently on your belly if that feels comfortable. Feel the inhale. Feel how your belly softens and rises like a gentle tide. There is no effort. Your body knows how to do this perfectly. It has been breathing for you your entire life. You can trust it. Now feel the exhale. Feel the gentle release as your belly falls. Imagine with this exhale, you are pouring all of your tension, all of your worry, all of your striving into the river. The river is vast and powerful. It can hold it all. It carries your burdens away, downstream, dissolving them into the great, wide ocean. Inhale, gathering the peace of this twilight moment. Exhale, releasing the noise of the day. Inhale, I am here. Exhale, I am home. Let this be your only task, to follow the rhythm of your breath as you follow the flow of the river. When your mind wanders, as it inevitably will, that is not a failure. It is simply the nature of the mind. It is what minds do. Like a curious puppy, it wanders off to sniff at a thought, a memory, a sound. Your job is not to scold the puppy. It is to gently, kindly call it back. Here, boy. Come back to the breath, and you begin again. With each return, you are strengthening a muscle of mindfulness. You are carving a new neural pathway in your brain, a pathway of peace, a pathway of return. This is the essence of Buddhist meditation for beginners and the foundation of a lifelong practice. It is simple, but it is not always easy. It requires a gentle, persistent patience with yourself. The teaching is that the breath is always here, never in the past, never in the future. Just this. When we return to it, we return to life. We stop living in the second-hand world of our thoughts, and we start inhabiting the primary, vibrant reality of our senses. What can you feel right now? The temperature of the air on your skin, the texture of the blanket, the solidness of the bed beneath you. This is real. Your thoughts about your problems are just thoughts. They are echoes, shadows. But this breath, this feeling, this moment, this is reality. Anchor yourself here. This is the source of all inner peace. As you rest in this awareness, you might notice the subtle ways you resist the present moment. The itch to check your phone, the urge to plan tomorrow, the mental habit of replaying a conversation. These are all forms of leaving the riverbank, of abandoning the now. See if you can just notice these urges without acting on them. Let them be like clouds passing in the twilight sky. You see them, you acknowledge them, and you let them drift by. always returning your gentle focus to the river, to the breath. This practice of returning again and again is a profound act of self-love. It is saying to yourself, you are worthy of your own attention. This moment of your life is worthy of being experienced fully. It is the antidote to the modern malaise of feeling disconnected, of living on autopilot, of feeling like life is passing you by. By being with your breath, you are stepping into the stream of life itself. You are participating fully. But sometimes, even the clearest reflection must wait for the mirror to break. Listen for it in the mirror that waited to break. This thought arises like a smooth, dark stone surfacing from the river's depths. It hints at a deeper layer of this journey. The peace we find in the breath is real and profound, but it can also show us the subtle ways we still cling to an idea of ourselves, a reflection on the water's surface. What happens when that surface is disturbed? What happens when the reflection shatters? This is not a threat, but a promise of a more radical freedom, a liberation from the self we think we are. It's a pointer towards the next turn in the river of our unfolding awareness. For now, however, the work is simply to be here, to breathe. Your next breath is the doorway. You've already arrived. There is nowhere else to go, no better state to achieve. This is it. This simple breathing moment. Is it not, in its own quiet way, perfect? Is it not enough? Let the sound of the river become the sound of your own inner stillness. Let the coolness of the twilight air soothe your nervous system. You are safe. You are held. You are home. Let go of any need to do this meditation correctly. There is no correct way. There is only your way, your breath, your moment. Trust the process. Trust your body's ancient wisdom. It knows how to rest. It knows how to heal. All you have to do is get out of the way. Let the story of the river become your dream. A dream of effortless flow, of gentle release, of profound presence. A dream where you are not the one struggling on the bank, but the river itself, flowing with grace and power, always and forever in the now. And in stillness, the mirror does not shatter, it reveals. And what it reveals is the boundless, peaceful truth of your own being. A truth that was here all along, waiting for you, right here, where the river turns. The mirror that waited to break. What if your reflection was never yours to keep? We spend our lives polishing a mirror. This mirror is our self-image, our identity, the person we believe ourselves to be. We call it me. We decorate it with our accomplishments, our roles, our relationships, our beliefs. We guard it fiercely, buffing out any smudges of failure, hiding the cracks of vulnerability. We hold it up to the world and ask, do you see me? Am I good enough? Am I worthy? And we hold it up to ourselves, checking our own reflection constantly, making sure it aligns with the person we think we should be. This is the source of immense, unspoken suffering, the constant maintenance of the self, the fear that one day the mirror will fall and break. Tonight, we visit a place where that is not a fear, but a profound hope. Imagine a quiet dojo, a training hall for martial arts, but this one is for the art of stillness. It is ancient, made of dark, fragrant cedar wood. The air inside is cool and smells of old wood, tatami mats, and silence. Sunlight streams in through a high window, illuminating a billion dancing dust motes, tiny universes floating in the air. In the corner of this dojo, leaning against a wall, is a mirror. It is tall and ornate, with a heavy carved frame. But the glass itself is a web of fine, intricate cracks, like a frozen lightning strike. It has sat here, undisturbed for years, gathering silence instead of dust. No one has tried to fix it. No one has swept away the pieces. It is revered, not in spite of its brokenness, but because of it. This is the mirror that waited to break. This is our koan for tonight, our spiritual puzzle. The core principle it reveals is this: self as reflection, seeing without grasping. Your true nature is not the image in the mirror, however perfect or flawed. Your true nature is the silent, empty, loving awareness that looks into the mirror. It is the space that allows the reflection to appear. For years, you have identified with the reflection. You have believed that the image of you, the successful professional, the loving parent, the spiritual seeker, the anxious person, the one who fails, is the totality of who you are. And so, you live in constant fear of what the mirror will show you. You become anxious when it shows you a face of fear. You feel shame when it shows you a mistake. You feel pride when it shows you an achievement. Your entire emotional life is dictated by the flickering, unstable image in the glass. This is a form of bondage. It is like being a prisoner in your own art gallery, forced to stare at a single, ever-changing portrait of yourself. The Zen masters understood this. They knew that liberation does not come from polishing the mirror to perfection. It comes from the shattering of the mirror itself. Not a violent shattering, but a gentle, graceful cracking, like ice melting in the spring sun. The breaking of the mirror is the moment of enlightenment, the moment you realize, oh, I am not that. I am not the reflection. In that moment, a profound relief washes over you. The exhausting, lifelong project of self-management, of reputation control, of being a self, can finally be laid down. You can rest. The teaching is this: the self we try to hold onto is a shimmering image, real only when we stop trying to possess it. Think of a reflection on the surface of a still pond. You can see the moon, the stars, the trees, all perfectly rendered. But if you reach in to grab the moon, what happens? The image shatters into 1,000 ripples. The very act of grasping destroys the thing you tried to possess. It is the same with the self. The more we grasp at a fixed identity, the more we suffer when life, in its infinite wisdom, shows us that we are fluid, changing, and far more vast than any image we can hold of ourselves. This is a difficult teaching. It can feel scary. If I am not my thoughts, my feelings, my body, my story, then who am I? This question is the doorway. The mind rushes in to answer it, to build a new, better, more spiritual mirror. I am awareness. I am the universe. But these are still just concepts. They are new, shinier reflections. The real practice is to stay in the question itself, to rest in the not knowing, to let the mirror remain broken. Let's connect this to the real-world pain points that keep you up at night. Think of social media, a hall of mirrors where we all present our most polished reflections. The pressure to perform, to curate a perfect life, is immense. It fuels burnout, anxiety, and a deep sense of inadequacy and loneliness because we are comparing our messy, behind-the-scenes reality with everyone else's highlight reel. Or think of burnout at work. It often comes from over-identifying with our professional role. When our job becomes our entire identity, any setback, a failed project, a criticism, a layoff, is not just a professional problem. It feels like an existential death. The mirror cracks, and we panic. The wisdom of the broken mirror offers a path to emotional healing. It teaches us to hold our identity lightly, to see our roles, our jobs, our relationships as costumes we wear, not the skin we are in. We can play these roles with love, with dedication, with excellence, but we don't have to confuse them with our true self. This creates a profound inner freedom. When the mirror cracks, when we lose a job or a relationship ends, or we make a mistake, it is still painful, but it is not annihilating, because we know that we are not the broken pieces. We are the silent, unbreakable space in which the pieces lie. Let's do a practice. Close your eyes and bring to mind the self you present to the world. The capable self, the responsible self, the one who holds it all together. See it as a reflection in that old, cracked mirror in the dojo. Now, with great tenderness, allow that image to dissolve. It doesn't have to break violently. Just let it become transparent, like a watercolor painting left in the rain. Let the lines blur. Let the colors run. Let the solidness fade away. And what is left, not a void, not nothingness, but a sense of spaciousness, a quiet, peaceful, witnessing presence. This presence does not need to be validated. It does not need to be successful. It does not need to be liked. It simply is, and it is enough. In this space, there is no pressure. There is no performance. There is just being. This is the peace that passeth all understanding. This is the ground of your being. From this place, you can let go and drift into deep, restful sleep. Even a sparrow can find calm beneath the avalanche. Hear its wings in the sparrow beneath the avalanche. This image flies into the silent dojo, a living paradox. The broken mirror speaks of emptiness, of letting go of self. The sparrow speaks of a resilient core, an unshaken center. How can both be true? This is the beautiful mystery we are moving towards. The shattering of the self is not the end of the story. It is the beginning of discovering what is truly indestructible within you. What remains when all the reflections are gone? The self you lose is the small, constructed self. The self you find is as vast and as quiet as the sky. So let the mirror break, not to destroy, but to set you free from its illusion. Let go of the person you think you are supposed to be, and rest in the mystery of who you truly are. You are not a static, finished product. You are a process, a flow, a dance. You are the silence in the dojo, the light streaming through the window, the dust motes dancing in the air. You are far more beautiful, more vast, and more free than any reflection could ever show you. There is nothing to prove, nothing to defend. Lay down the heavy burden of being you. Let the cracks in your own mirror be golden seams, reminders of your wholeness, not your brokenness. Let them be portals to the infinite, silent space that lies behind the glass. This is a profound, letting go guided meditation. A release not just of a day's stress, but of a lifetime's striving. The mountain does not mourn its fallen snow. The snow was never separate from the mountain. Your identity, your story, your reflection, they are not separate from the vast awareness that you are. Let them fall away. Let them melt. And what remains is the mountain, strong, silent, and at peace. You are that mountain. Rest now. Rest in your own unshakable majesty. The sparrow beneath the avalanche. What remains unbroken when everything else falls away? In our lives, we experience avalanches, not of snow, but of circumstance. The sudden loss of a job, the end of a relationship, a frightening diagnosis, a global crisis, the overwhelming crush of grief, fear, or despair. In these moments, everything we thought was stable, everything we built our lives upon, can be swept away in a roaring, terrifying instant. The world goes white. We feel buried, lost, unable to breathe. The mind screams, "This is the end. I will not survive this." And in that moment of utter chaos, we search for something, anything, to hold on to. let me tell you a story, a Zen parable for our times. High in the Himalayas, a great avalanche thundered down a mountainside. It was a sight of terrifying power, a whole world of snow and ice and rock remaking itself in a matter of seconds. It buried ancient trees, filled deep ravines, and silenced the landscape under a thick, heavy blanket of white. From the valley below, a monk watched it all. He knew that nothing could survive such force. But weeks later, as the spring sun began to warm the slopes, a tiny patch of snow began to melt. And from that small hollow, a single tiny sparrow emerged. It shook the last of the snow from its feathers, took a breath of the crisp mountain air, and began to sing. It had not been crushed. It had not been fighting. It had found a tiny air pocket beneath a gnarled root, and it had simply rested. It had nestled into the heart of the chaos, in a space of perfect stillness, and it had waited. It had trusted the darkness. It had trusted its own small, warm life. The avalanche had raged above it, but it had not touched it. This is you. You are this sparrow. This story illustrates one of the most profound and comforting principles in all of Buddhist teachings: equanimity in difficulty, the unshaken center. Within every single one of us, no matter how chaotic our lives become, no matter how heavy the avalanche of our thoughts and feelings, there exists a core of profound stillness, a place that is untouched, unafraid, and utterly at peace. This is not something you have to create, or achieve, or earn. It is your birthright. It is the very nature of your consciousness. The practice is not about avoiding the avalanche. That is impossible. Life will bring what it brings. The practice is about remembering the sparrow. It is about learning to find that small, quiet space within yourself, that pocket of stillness, and taking refuge there when the world is roaring. Let's bring this home. Think about a time you felt overwhelmed. The pressure of too many demands, the weight of a difficult decision, the crushing fatigue of burnout. In those moments, your nervous system goes into fight, flight, or freeze mode. Your heart races, your breath becomes shallow, your mind spins with worst-case scenarios. This is the inner avalanche. It feels completely real, completely consuming. We believe we are the snow, the chaos, the terror. But the wisdom of the sparrow teaches us that we are not the avalanche. We are the still point within it. Equanimity, or upekkha in Pali, is one of the 4 Brahmaviharas, or divine abodes in Buddhism. It is often misunderstood as indifference or detachment, but it is not that at all. It is a deep, spacious, and loving balance of mind. It is the ability to be with the pleasant, the unpleasant, and the neutral experiences of life without being knocked off your center. It is a warm, steady heart that says, This is happening, and I have the capacity to be with it. It is the ultimate form of resilience and emotional healing. So how do we find this sparrow, this unshaken center? It is not a place you can think your way to. It is a place you feel your way to. It is found in the body. Right now, as you lie here, see if you can find a place in your body that feels calm. It might be very small. It might be the tip of your little finger. It might be the feeling of your feet resting. It might be the gentle rhythm of your breath in your belly. Find that tiny anchor of stillness, however subtle it is, and let your attention rest there gently. Don't try to make it bigger. Just notice it. This is your air pocket. This is your space beneath the root. Now, from this place of stillness, you can look at the avalanche of your thoughts and worries. See them as the snow swirling and thundering far above you. You are not in it. You are beneath it, watching it. You can acknowledge the noise, the fear, the pressure. You can say, yes, the avalanche is happening, but you don't have to be swept away by it. Your anchor of physical sensation, your sparrow of stillness, holds you fast. This is a powerful technique to calm anxiety at night. When your mind is racing, when the worries feel like they are burying you, remember the sparrow. Shift your attention from the story in your head to a simple, physical sensation in your body. The feeling of the breath, the weight of your hand, the contact of your head on the pillow. This is your refuge. It is always available. It is unbreakable. The teaching is this: even in chaos, there is a stillness inside us, untouched, unafraid. It's not about avoiding the avalanche, but remembering the sparrow. Peace is not the absence of weight. It's the strength to remain soft beneath it. It is the resilience of the reed that bends in the wind, not the oak that breaks. It is the quiet courage of the sparrow, which does not fight the storm, but finds the eye of it. This is not about spiritual bypassing or ignoring real problems. It is about finding the inner resource, the deep well of peace within you, so that you can face the problems of your life with wisdom, clarity, and courage, rather than from a place of reactive fear. When you are centered, when you are connected to that inner sparrow, you make better decisions. You are more compassionate to yourself and others. You have access to a strength you didn't know you possessed. Tea you sip in the next breath will never taste the same. We'll sit with it in tea that never tasted the same twice. This new thought drifts into your quiet space like a warm, fragrant steam. The sparrow has taught us about the timeless, unchanging center. Now, this new whisper invites us to consider the other side of the coin, the ever-changing, fleeting beauty of each moment. The sparrow is the truth of our eternal nature. The tea is the truth of our impermanent experience. Holding both of these truths at once is the heart of wisdom. It's the dance of being both the mountain and the falling snow, both the silence and the song. But for now, just rest in the stillness you have found. Feel the peace of being the sparrow. The avalanche of the day, the deadlines, the worries, the conversations is over. It has settled. You are safe in your small, warm hollow. There is nothing you need to do, nowhere you need to be, no one you need to become. You are simply here, breathing, alive, and at peace. Let this feeling of deep, unshakable calm spread through your body. Let it be a balm for your tired mind and your weary heart. Let it be the gentle hand that guides you into a deep and restorative sleep. A sleep so deep that you touch the very ground of your being, the bedrock of silence that lies beneath all the noise. You are the stillness. You are the peace. You are the unbroken one. The avalanche can rage, but it cannot touch you. It cannot touch the quiet, steady, eternal light of your own awareness. Steam rising from tea, like thoughts dissolving into now. Let them dissolve. Let them go. And sleep. Tea that never tasted the same twice. Have you ever tried to drink the same tea twice? You can use the same leaves, the same water, the same cup, the same temperature. But it is never the same. The light in the room is different. The thoughts in your head are different. The cells in your body are a moment older. The world has spun a little further on its axis. The first sip is gone forever, a ghost of a memory on your tongue. The second sip is an entirely new universe of sensation, born and dying in a single, unrepeatable instant. This is the profound and simple heart of this lesson. Let's enter this moment together. Imagine you are sitting in a small, quiet room. The late afternoon sun streams through a paper screen, casting long, soft shadows. Before you, on a low wooden table, is a single porcelain cup. It is old and worn, with a fine, crackled glaze. It rests in your aging hands, or perhaps young hands. It doesn't matter. Your hands. It is filled with freshly brewed green tea. The steam rises in a delicate, shifting dance, a prayer to the impermanent. You lift the cup. Its warmth seeps into your palms, a feeling of pure, uncomplicated presence. You bring the cup to your lips and take a sip. And in that moment, the world stops. There is only the warmth, the slightly bitter, grassy taste, the smoothness of the liquid, the fragrant steam in your nose. For 1 second, you are not thinking about the past or the future. You are not worrying or planning. You are simply, completely drinking tea. And in that 1 second, you are totally free. This is the core principle. Impermanence. Each moment never repeats. In Sanskrit, this is anicca. It is one of the 3 marks of existence in Buddhism, along with dukkha and anatta. At first, the idea of impermanence can sound sad, even terrifying. Nothing lasts. Everything changes. Everyone we love will one day be gone. We ourselves will be gone. This truth is the source of a deep, existential anxiety that hums beneath the surface of our lives. We resist it. We try to hold on, to fix things in place, to build monuments against the tides of time. We take pictures, write journals, cling to memories, all in a desperate attempt to stop the river from flowing. But Buddhist psychology offers a radical reframing. What if impermanence is not a curse, but a blessing? What if it is the very thing that makes life precious, beautiful, and sacred? Because this moment will never come again, it is infinitely valuable. Because this conversation, this sunset, this breath is fleeting, it deserves our full, loving attention. Impermanence is not a reason for despair. It is a call to awaken. It is a plea from the universe to be here now, before the moment is gone forever. The tea ceremony in Zen is not just about drinking tea. It is a meditation on Ikkaigo Ikkai, which translates to one time, one meeting. It means that every encounter, every moment, is a unique treasure that can never be replicated. When you sit for tea with someone, you are honoring the fact that this specific configuration of time, place, people, and atmosphere will never happen again. Therefore, you bring your whole self to it. You are fully present. This is how we can live our entire lives, as a sacred ceremony. Think of the suffering that comes from resisting impermanence. The pain of regret is the pain of trying to change a past that is gone forever. The pain of anxiety is the pain of trying to control a future that has not yet arrived. The frustration we feel when things don't go as planned is the frustration of a mind that believes reality should be static and predictable. We are constantly at war with the fundamental nature of reality, which is flow, change, and flux. This war is exhausting. It is the root of so much of our stress and what keeps us from restful sleep. We lie in bed, clinging to the day that is over, or grasping for the day that is to come. And we miss the sacred, silent, healing darkness of the now. The teaching is simple. No moment is the same. No taste returns exactly. To live is to let go again and again. It is a continuous practice of release. With every exhale, you are letting go of the breath you just took. With every step, you are letting go of the ground you just touched. To fall asleep is the ultimate act of letting go. You must release your grip on the conscious, thinking mind and trust the great, unknown ocean of the night. Let's practice with the tea. Even if you are just imagining it, the mind is powerful. Take another sip of your imaginary tea. Notice everything about it. The way the warmth spreads from your mouth down into your chest, the subtle aftertaste, the feeling of swallowing. This is a universe of sensation. It is happening now, and now, and now it is gone. It has been replaced by a new now. Can you be okay with that? Can you find the beauty in it rather than the loss? Can you celebrate the passing of the moment as you would celebrate a guest who visited and is now on their way? Thank you for visiting. Goodbye. This is how we can relate to all of our experiences, our joys, our sorrows, our thoughts, our feelings. They are visitors. They come, they stay for a while, and then they go. They are not us. We are the house they visit, and the house remains. This is a profound form of emotional healing. When you are caught in a wave of sadness, you can remember the tea. This sadness is here now. It is intense. It is real, but it is impermanent. Like the taste of the tea, it will change. It will fade. It will be replaced by something else. This doesn't invalidate the sadness. It makes it bearable. It allows you to feel it fully without the additional layer of fear that it will last forever. You can let the wave wash over you, knowing that the ocean is vast and you will come up for air again. Even the wind forgets its name, and we shall find its whisper in where the wind hides its name. A new thought, as light and formless as the steam from the cup, enters the room. The tea has taught us about the constant flow of moments, each one unique. Now, the wind calls to us, teaching a deeper lesson about non-attachment. The wind touches the leaf, the mountain, the water, but it never clings to any of it. It passes through the world without trying to hold it. This is the next step in our journey of letting go. To appreciate the impermanent moment is the first step. To become like the wind, which flows through all moments without grasping, is the ultimate freedom. But for now, stay with the cup. Let every sip remind you, this is the only now that will ever be, and this one, and this one. There is a deep peace in this realization. The pressure to get it right falls away. The need to hold on relaxes. You can simply be here, in this imperfectly perfect, utterly unique and sacred moment. This is a powerful antidote to the fear of missing out, the feeling that life is happening somewhere else, to someone else. No, life is happening right here, in the feeling of your breath, in the warmth of your blanket, in the silence of this room. This is it. This is the main event. There is no dress rehearsal. As you prepare for sleep, Let go of the day that has passed. It was a unique cup of tea. It will never be brewed again. Let it go with gratitude. Let go of the day that is to come. It is an unbrewed cup. You do not know its flavor. Let it be. Rest in this single, precious moment. Feel its texture, its temperature, its silent music. It is all you have, and it is everything. Let this story, this taste, this feeling dissolve into your dreams, and the wind, unheld, still returns. You don't have to hold on. Peace will find you. Let go now and drift into the deep, healing sleep that awaits you. Where the wind hides its name. If you could name the wind, would it still be free? We humans have a deep-seated need to name things, to label, to categorize, to understand. We name the stars, the plants, the emotions. In naming something, we feel we have captured it, that we have some control over it. We say love, fear, joy, and we think we know what they are. But the word is not the thing. The label is not the experience. The moment we name the wind Zephyr or Boreas, we have put it in a box. We have limited it. We have separated ourselves from its wild, uncontainable, and mysterious nature. The wind itself has no name. It simply is. It is the invisible force that moves the world. Imagine yourself standing on a high, grassy hill. The sky above is a vast, open blue, dotted with a few lazy white clouds. All around you is movement. The long grasses ripple and wave in a sea of green. The leaves on the trees shimmer and dance. Your hair lifts and plays around your face. You can feel it on your skin, cool and alive. You can hear it, a low, rushing sigh in your ears. This is the wind. You cannot see it. You can only see what it touches. You cannot hold it. You can only feel it pass through you. It is the perfect teacher of non-attachment. This is our meditation tonight, our lesson in letting go. The core principle is non-attachment. The wind touches, but does not cling. The wind is the ultimate master of this art. It caresses the face of the mountain, but it does not try to stay there. It rustles the pages of an open book, but it does not try to read the story. It lifts the kite high into the sky, but it does not own the kite. It passes through everything, yet it is bound to nothing. It is intimate with the entire world, yet it remains utterly, completely free. This is the state of mind that Buddhist teachings point us towards. It is not a cold, detached indifference. It is the opposite. It is a profound, open-hearted engagement with life, but without the clinging, the grasping, the possessing that causes so much of our suffering. To be like the wind is to be able to love fully, to experience joy deeply, to feel sorrow completely, but to not get stuck in any of it. It is to allow life to flow through you like the wind through the tall grasses, let's explore how clinging causes us pain. We cling to relationships, wanting them to stay the same, and we suffer when people change or leave. We cling to our youth and health, and we suffer when we age and get sick. We cling to our successes, and we suffer when we fail. We cling to our opinions and beliefs, and we suffer when they are challenged. We even cling to our spiritual experiences. We have a moment of profound peace in meditation, and then we spend the next 6 months trying to get it back. And we suffer because we are clinging to a memory instead of being open to the new moment. This clinging is like trying to catch the wind in a jar. All you are left with is stale, stagnant air. The magic is gone. The freedom is gone. The life is gone. Freedom is not in capturing the wind, but in becoming like it. The teaching is this: to let go is not to lose, it is to join the flow. The wind teaches us to pass through the world without holding it. When we let go of our desperate grip on things, we don't lose them. Instead, we discover that we are part of a much larger, more beautiful dance. We are not a separate me trying to get things from the world. We are the world itself, in a constant, dynamic, and breathtaking flow. This is a deep form of emotional healing. When you are feeling stuck, whether in a job, a relationship, or a pattern of negative thinking, it is often because you are clinging to something. You are holding on tight, afraid to let go. The practice of non-attachment invites you to gently, compassionately open your hand. Let's try a visualization. Imagine you are holding a small, smooth stone in your fist. You are clenching it tightly. This stone represents something you are clinging to: a worry, a resentment, a desire. Feel the tension in your hand, your wrist, your arm. This is the energy it takes to hold on. It is exhausting. Now imagine yourself on that windy hill. Feel the breeze on your skin, hear its song, and slowly, gently begin to unfurl your fingers, one by one. Let the stone rest in your open palm. You are not throwing it away. You are just ceasing to cling to it. And now, simply turn your palm over and let the stone drop into the grass. There is no violence in it, just a simple release. Feel the immediate relief in your hand, your arm. The tension is gone. Your hand is now empty, open, and free. It is ready to receive whatever comes next. It can feel the wind. This is what we can do with our mental and emotional burdens. We can stop clenching them. We can open the fist of our mind and let them rest there for a moment, seeing them for what they are: just thoughts, just feelings, stones in the mind. And then we can gently let them go. We can let the wind of our awareness carry them away. This is the practice of letting go. This is the path to inner peace. Even clouds remember what they once gave rain, and so shall we in the cloud that remembers rain. A new image drifts into our windy landscape. The wind is pure movement, pure letting go. The cloud, however, introduces a new element, memory, and the grace of giving. The wind touches and releases. The cloud gathers, transforms, and gives of itself in the form of rain, and in doing so becomes light again. This points to a more nuanced form of non-attachment, one that involves compassion and the wisdom of holding our past not as a burden, but as a source of nourishment for ourselves and others. We are moving from pure emptiness in motion to a compassionate fullness in release. But for now, let yourself be the wind. Let yourself drift, not away, but within. Feel the spaciousness that opens up inside you when you stop clinging. It's a vast, quiet, peaceful space. It is the mind of Zen. In this space, you can finally rest. You don't have to manage your life. You don't have to control the outcome. You can trust the flow. You can trust the wind. It knows where it's going. Let this feeling of freedom be your lullaby tonight. Let the rushing sound of the wind be the sound that carries you into deep sleep. Imagine your thoughts are just leaves, caught up in the breeze, dancing and tumbling, and eventually settling gently on the earth. You don't have to follow each one. You can just watch the beautiful, chaotic, and ultimately peaceful dance. You are not the leaf. You are not even the hill. You are the wind. You are the free, flowing, ungraspable spirit of life itself. And in that realization, you find a peace that cannot be named, a joy that cannot be contained. Memory falls like gentle rain, never needing to be caught. You are free. Rest in that freedom. Sleep in that peace. The cloud that remembers rain. What does a cloud carry after the rain is gone? We think of clouds as heavy things when they are dark with rain. We see them as burdened, pregnant with a storm. And when the rain finally falls, we imagine the cloud is emptied, relieved, lightened. But does the cloud forget the rain it once was? Does it forget the life it gave to the thirsty earth below? Or does it carry the memory, not as a weight, but as a kind of silent, spacious wisdom? A quiet understanding of its own nature, which is to gather, to release, and to become light again. Imagine a sky just after a long, gentle, soaking rain. The world smells clean and alive. The colors of the grass and the leaves are deep and vibrant. And high above, the clouds are not gone. They have changed. They are now a pale, soft, luminous gray, stretched out in thin, wispy veils. The sky is silent, soft, like forgiveness unspoken. There is a feeling of profound peace, of a great thirst being quenched, a great tension being released. This is the sky of compassion. This is our sacred space tonight, the sky after the rain. The principle we are exploring is one of the most subtle and healing in all of Buddhist psychology: compassion through memory, holding without holding on. This is a step beyond simple non-attachment. The wind taught us to let go completely. The cloud teaches us how to hold our experiences, especially the painful ones, in a new way. Not by clinging to them, not by being defined by them, but by integrating them into a larger, more compassionate wisdom. So many of us are haunted by our pasts. We carry our hurts, our regrets, our griefs, like heavy, dark rain clouds that follow us everywhere. We replay old scenes in our minds. We feel the old emotions as if they are happening right now. This is a form of holding on. It is a refusal to let the rain fall. We are afraid that if we let go of the pain, we will be betraying the memory, or that we will lose a part of ourselves. We think the pain is what keeps the memory alive. And so we live under a perpetually stormy sky, unable to see the sun, exhausted by the weight of the unshed rain. The teaching of the cloud offers a different way. To remember without pain is compassion. The cloud does not cling to its water. It releases it freely as a gift to the world. And in that act of giving, of letting go, it is transformed. It becomes light, spacious, free. It still remembers the rain. The rain is part of its history, its journey, but it is not burdened by it. The memory has become a part of its wisdom. This is what we can learn to do with our own painful memories. This is the heart of emotional healing. It is not about forgetting. Forgetting is not possible, nor is it desirable. Our experiences make us who we are. The healing comes not from erasing the past, but from changing our relationship to it. It comes from letting the rain of our grief, our anger, our regret finally fall. How do we do this? We do it by meeting our memories with metta and karuna. Imagine a memory that is painful for you, one that you carry like a dark cloud. Instead of pushing it away or getting lost in its story, can you see it as a cloud in the vast sky of your awareness? You are the sky, not the cloud. The sky is not afraid of the cloud. It has room for all clouds. Now, can you offer that cloud some compassion? Can you see the younger version of yourself in that memory and feel tenderness for their pain, their confusion, their fear? Can you say to them, silently, I see you. I see your pain. You did the best you could with what you knew at the time. And can you feel compassion for anyone else who was involved, not because you are condoning harmful behavior, but because you recognize their suffering, their ignorance, the causes and conditions that led them to act as they did. This is not about forgiveness for their sake. It is about freedom for your sake. It is about you choosing to no longer carry the weight of resentment. And finally, can you allow the rain of that memory to fall? This might mean allowing yourself to cry, to feel the anger, to feel the grief, to let the stored up emotion move through your body and be released. You are creating a safe space within yourself for this to happen. You are the loving, compassionate sky, allowing the storm to pass. The teaching is this: to remember without pain is compassion. Like clouds, we hold but do not possess. We release and become light again. After the storm has passed, what remains is not an empty void, but a soft, clean, peaceful sky. The memory is still there, but its charge is gone. It is no longer a source of pain. It has become a source of wisdom. You know what it is to suffer, so you can be more compassionate to others who suffer. You know what it is to be hurt, so you are less likely to hurt others. Your pain, once released and integrated, becomes your gift. It becomes the rain that nourishes the world. Some gates do not need opening, only remembering. As in the gate, you walk through without moving. This new koan appears in the peaceful, post-rain sky. The cloud has taught us how to find release and lightness by transforming our relationship with the past. Now, this new thought points toward an even more profound simplicity. It suggests that the freedom we seek is not something we need to achieve through a process, even a healing one. It suggests we are already free, already home. There is a gate, but it has no lock. It has no door. We are already on both sides of it. This is the great secret of non-action, of awakening without striving, and it is where our journey is leading us. But for this moment, rest in the gentle, spacious sky of your own compassionate heart. Healing comes not from forgetting, but from remembering differently. It comes from holding your own story with a tenderness that allows the rain to fall. As you lie here, preparing for sleep, let the clouds of your mind drift. If a dark cloud appears, a worry, a regret, you don't have to fight it. Greet it with compassion. See the pain it holds, and then give it permission to rain. Let the feeling release, and trust that you, the vast sky of awareness, are large enough and strong enough to hold it. And when it passes, notice the peace that remains. The quiet, clean, spacious feeling. This is your true nature. This is the peaceful mind that allows for deep, healing sleep. You are not your past. You are not your pain. You are the sky that holds it all, and in that holding, transforms it into wisdom, into compassion, into light. And the gate opens not with keys, but with breath. Breathe in the peace. Breathe out the last remnants of the storm, and drift into the clear, silent, starlit night of your own being. the gate you walk through without moving. What if the path you seek has no steps? We are a culture of seekers. We are always trying to get somewhere, to the next level in our career, to a better relationship, to a healthier body, to a more enlightened state of mind. We read the books, we go to the workshops, we follow the steps, we do the practice. Our spiritual life becomes another project, another goal to be achieved. We are on a path, and we believe that if we just walk far enough, if we just try hard enough, we will eventually arrive at the destination: peace, happiness, freedom. But what if the destination is where you are already standing? What if the path is an illusion? Imagine you are walking through a dense, misted forest. The air is cool and damp, and the world is painted in 1,000 shades of green and gray. You have been walking for a long time, searching for the legendary gate of awakening. You believe that if you can just find this gate and pass through it, all your suffering will end. You are tired, your feet ache, and you are starting to lose hope. Then, suddenly, the mist thins and you see it. Standing in a small clearing is an ancient wooden gate, a Japanese torii. Its red paint is faded and peeling. It is beautiful and mysterious. Your heart leaps. You have found it. But as you get closer, you notice something strange. The gate is not part of a wall or a fence. It stands completely alone in the middle of the clearing. There is no barrier on either side of it. You can simply walk around it. In fact, you have to make a special effort to walk through it. The gate is not there to keep you out or to let you in. It is simply there, an open doorway in the middle of an open field. This is the gate you walk through without moving. This is the profound and paradoxical core principle we will rest in tonight. Non-action, awakening without striving. In Chinese, this is Wu Wei. It is a central concept in Taoism and has deep resonance with Zen Buddhist teachings. It does not mean being lazy or passive. It means effortless action, or action that arises from a place of deep alignment with the natural flow of life. It is the art of getting out of your own way. For your entire life, you have been trying to get through the gate. You have been striving, struggling, pushing. You believe that awakening is something that will happen to you in the future as a result of your efforts. But the gate in the forest reveals the great, secret joke of the spiritual search. You are already on the other side. You were born there. There was never a wall. The only thing that kept you from realizing your own freedom was the belief that you were not free. The only thing that made you feel separate from peace was the search for peace itself. The teaching is this: you are already where you are trying to go. In Zen, doing nothing is not idleness. It is perfect alignment with now. It is the cessation of the inner war. It is the end of the project of self-improvement. It is the radical, revolutionary act of accepting yourself and this moment exactly as they are. This can be a deeply challenging idea. The ego, the I that is built on striving and achieving, rebels against it. What do you mean, do nothing? If I do nothing, everything will fall apart. I have to keep trying, keep fixing, keep improving. This voice is the sound of the seeker who is addicted to the search. It is afraid that if the search ends, it will cease to exist. And it is right. The you that is trying to get somewhere is the very illusion that is keeping you from being here. The moment you truly stop, the moment you cease all inner effort, that you dissolves. And what is left? The forest, the mist, the silence, the feeling of the cool air on your skin. Reality in its raw, unmediated, and breathtaking beauty. You don't arrive somewhere new. You simply wake up to where you have always been. Let's bring this into the very practical struggle of trying to fall asleep. What is insomnia, if not the ultimate form of striving? You lie in bed, and you are trying to sleep. I must sleep. I need to sleep. Why can't I sleep? This very effort, this striving, floods your nervous system with stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. It creates the very state of hyperarousal that makes sleep impossible. You are trying to force open the gate of sleep, and in doing so, you are holding it shut. The wisdom of Wu-Wei of non-action offers a completely different approach. It says, stop trying to sleep, give up, surrender the goal. Let go of the desire to be asleep and simply be awake. Be fully, mindfully, and compassionately awake. Feel the sensations of being awake in your body. Notice the thoughts that are arising. Hear the sounds in the room. Accept this moment of wakefulness completely, without resistance. And then a miracle happens. The moment you stop fighting the wakefulness, the tension drains from your body. The mind, no longer given a problem to solve, begins to quiet down, and you drift into sleep, not because you tried to, but because you finally stopped trying. You walked through the gate by standing still. This is the pathless path. It is a radical trust in your own nature and in the nature of life itself. Your body knows how to sleep. Your heart knows how to love. Your mind knows how to be quiet. You don't have to teach them. You just have to stop interfering. You just have to get out of the way. When the last bell fades, something greater remains. Listen for it in the silence after the last bell. This whisper comes to you in the quiet of the forest clearing. You have found the gate that requires no passage. You have tasted the freedom of non-striving. What comes next? The journey moves beyond even the most subtle concepts into the pure, direct experience of what is. The bell is a sound, an event, a thing that happens in time. But the silence that follows it is not a thing. It is the canvas upon which all things appear. It is the ultimate reality, the fullness of emptiness, the final destination that was also the starting point. This is the great mystery we are approaching. But for now, rest here at the gateless gate. The reflection is this: the gate is not there to be passed, but to remind you there was never a wall. The spiritual journey is not about becoming someone new. It is about unbecoming everything you thought you were, so you can rest in the luminous, peaceful mystery of what you have always been. There is nothing to fix, nothing to chase. You are already whole. You are already home. Let this realization sink into you deeper than bone, deeper than thought. Let it be the truth that finally allows you to lay down your arms and surrender to the peace that is your birthright. The search is over. The striving can cease. You can rest now. Let the forest hold you. Let the mist cradle you. Let the silence heal you. Silence arrives only when we stop asking it to speak. Let it speak now in its own language, and let its voice be the one that guides you effortlessly into the deep, dreamless peace you have been seeking for so long and have finally found right here. The silence after the last bell. What sound remains when even the last bell has faded? We have journeyed far tonight. We have walked the tightrope of our thoughts, sat with the lantern in the dark cave, breathed with the river, and gazed into the broken mirror. We have found the sparrow beneath the avalanche, tasted the impermanent tea, flowed with the nameless wind, and become the sky that remembers the rain. We have stood before the gateless gate and realized there was never a wall. And now we arrive at the final destination, which is not a destination at all, but the very ground of our entire journey. We arrive at silence. Imagine you are in an empty zendo, a Zen meditation hall, late at night. The last monk has long since gone to bed. The only light is the pale silver moonlight filtering through the high wooden rafters, painting soft rectangles on the dark, polished floor. The air is cool and thick with a palpable stillness. It is not an empty stillness. It is a stillness that is alive, humming with a silent, vibrant energy. It feels more real, more substantial than any sound. Earlier in the evening, the Inkin bell was struck, its high, clear, piercing note marking the end of meditation. The sound filled the room, a perfect, shimmering sphere of vibration. It hung in the air, beautiful and pure. And then, slowly, it began to fade. The ringing subsided, the vibration softened, and it dissolved back into the silence from which it came. The sound is gone, but what is left? This is the question that lies at the heart of Zen. What remains when all phenomena, all thoughts, all feelings, all sounds, all forms have ceased? The answer is not nothing. It is not a dead, empty void. The answer is shunyata, often translated as emptiness. But this translation is misleading. A better word might be spaciousness, openness, or luminous potentiality. It is the silence after the last bell. And this silence is not the absence of sound. It is the presence of everything. This is our final core principle: emptiness, the fullness of silence and release. This is perhaps the most profound and misunderstood concept in all of Buddhist teachings. We are afraid of emptiness. We think it means loneliness, meaninglessness, a cold, nihilistic void. So we spend our entire lives filling ourselves up. We fill ourselves with possessions, with accomplishments, with relationships, with knowledge, with entertainment, with noise. We are terrified of the silent, empty spaces in our lives. We check our phones at the first hint of boredom. We turn on the TV to fill the quiet house. We are running from the very thing that can save us. The silence after the last bell is not empty. It is the womb of creation. It is the canvas on which the entire universe is painted. It is the infinite potential from which all forms arise and to which all forms return. The sound of the bell was beautiful, but it was limited. It had a beginning and an end. It had a pitch and a volume. The silence, however, is limitless. It is eternal. It has no qualities. It simply is. Your true nature is this silence. You are not the thoughts that arise and pass away in your mind. You are not the emotions that color your experience. You are not the body that is born and will one day die. These are all like the sound of the bell, temporary, fleeting, conditioned phenomena. You are the silent, spacious, deathless awareness in which all of these things appear. You are the silence that was here before the first bell of your birth, and you are the silence that will be here after the last bell of your death. The teaching is this: true emptiness is not void. It is vast, alive, and free. When we stop filling the moment fills us. The spiritual journey is not about adding anything to yourself. You don't need to become more spiritual, more mindful, more compassionate. You are already all of those things. The journey is one of subtraction. It is about letting go of everything that is not you. Letting go of the false identities, the limiting beliefs, the stored up pain, the constant, chattering noise of the ego. And what is left when you let all of that go? The silence, the peace, the vast, open, loving awareness that is your true home. This is the ultimate healing. This is the final release. It is the surrender into the ground of your own being. And from this place, sleep is not something you do. It is what happens naturally when you stop doing everything else. It is a dissolving back into the silence, a returning to the source. Let's do one final, simple practice. As you lie here, just listen. Listen to the silence in the room. Don't listen for anything. Listen to the absence of things. Can you hear it? It is behind all the small sounds, the hum of the house, the distant traffic, the sound of your own breathing. It is the vast, silent canvas. Now turn that listening inward. Listen to the silence behind your thoughts. Your thoughts are like sounds, appearing and disappearing. But what is the space in which they appear? Can you sense it? A quiet, still, background awareness. Don't try to grasp it. Don't try to name it. Just rest in it. Let it hold you. This silence is infinitely gentle, infinitely loving, and infinitely safe. It is your own true nature. There is nothing to fear. You are coming home. You've already walked this path back when you balanced on the tightrope between thoughts. And here, in the final moment, the journey comes full circle. The silence you are experiencing now is the very same stillness that was waiting for you beneath the tightrope of your anxious mind, right at the beginning of our journey. It was never far away. It was here all along. The entire path from the tightrope to the bell was simply a journey of remembering what you had never truly forgotten. You have returned to the beginning, but you see it with new eyes. The circle is complete. You are home. In silence, nothing is missing, and nothing needs to be said. Let go of these words. Let go of this voice. Let go of the need to understand. Let the silence itself be your final teacher. Let it cradle you, heal you, and guide you into the deepest, most restorative peace you have ever known. There is only this vast, peaceful, silent awareness. It is what you are. It is all there is. And in not knowing, we return to knowing. Rest now. You are the silence. You are the peace. You are free.